Hey guys, this particular vlog has nothing to do with hair, but about television. So the first show I want to talk about is HG Design Superstar, next one, whatever. Let me tell you, I am so proud of that show. I want to give it a round of applause. The top 4 of that show, 3 of them are black. Yes, one girl is half white, but in America, she's black. And until they showed her mother, I didn't know she was black. So, whatever. So yeah, so it's Danielle. I think not her name is not Tiffany. It's and that's my favorite one. Why can't I remember her name right now? But so it's Danielle. It was the black guy and this other girl, and I am so proud that on a channel that is not BET, that's not a black channel, that the finalists are majority black. That there's at least not just one finalist that's black, but 3 finalists that's black, and I'm so proud because that shows how far we are going. We're even though every now and then some people show their behinds, but it's showing how far the society has come. Unfortunately, I kind of had a feeling that one of the black people were going to leave because, let's be realistic, on these shows, they weren't going to let the top 3 be black. So the black guy did leave. But there's still an opportunity for a black person to win that show. So there's 2 black women and a blonde girl. And it has nothing to do with race or anything. It's just that I am proud. And like when you watch The Bachelorette on ABC, black people get let, if they even have a black person, they get let out like the first episode, second episode, so they won't be seen as racist. And let's be honest and let's be real about that. So to see that a national show on TV that is not on a black channel has black finalists, I am very proud of that fact. And because it's kind of a thing, like when you watch stuff, you always want to see your own make it. And like, because when you see somebody that looks like you make it, it makes you feel like it gives you like the inspiration that you can make it also. So if I keep watching all these shows and the black people are seen as people with attitudes, people who lose all the time and always having all these issues and problems, then it makes me feel bad. Like that's what the world views black people as. But then when black people are in positive images, they're not having an attitude, they have some of the best designs, I am so proud of that. And that's why I have to give a round of applause to HGTV for that. Even Tyra, when she was America's Next Top Model, I forgot that show was even on, to be honest. But I thought they canceled that show, but it still plays on the CW, and they've been playing reruns of the All-Star season. I didn't even know they had an All-Star season. And even Tyra, like honestly, when you watch America's Next Top Model, yes, okay, because she's black, that doesn't mean that she should have black finalists or anything like that. But you would think it wouldn't be just as bad as the other shows. And usually she has maybe one black person, like the top 3, top 4. That season with Yaya and Eva was probably one of the only seasons where like the top, there was the top models were like two of them were black. And I understand for black people it's an added pressure, like, oh, you have black finalists and that's only because you're black. But nobody ever tells a white person, when they only have white finalists on these shows, you have all white people, that's only because you're white. But as soon as a black person puts it, it's pressure for them. And I don't think that's right. And what I love about the Design Star is that the panel is a mixed panel. Yes, there's not a black judge, but there's an Asian judge. So right there, you already know, like, as somebody who's a minority, if there was all Asians on the top 3, I would be happy at that too. And it's not that I'm being racist or anything like that. It's just that it's great to see that more than just one type of person can get ahead. So I give kudos to HGTV for that, and I'm pulling for those contestants to win because we need to see more diversity on TV, and we need to see not just more diversity, but more women on TV in a positive light. So I'm very proud of HGTV for that. The next show I want to talk about is Love and HipHop Atlanta. Like certain shows I don't watch. I do not watch basketball wives, because I feel like none of them are wives. All of them are just baby mamas and ex-girlfriends and jump offs. Do not call yourself something that you're not, giving young girls the wrong impression and fighting and making people who look like me look horrible. So I've never even sat down to watch that show because it just disgusts me. I don't watch Jersey Shore because I do have Italian descent in me, and I feel like the same way they do with basketball wives, that's what they're doing with Italian now. Like Guido, like with the whole Guido thing, whatever. Now they have a show about mama's boys and TLC. The same way they're just making black people look bad is the same way I feel like that's what they're doing to Italians, and I take offense to that. And I also feel like if I watch the show, I'll just get dumber. Why can't they show young people going to school, making something positive of themselves? I went to college. I did not go I did not go partying. I did not drink every single day of the week. I was in campus ministry. So to have the shows on TVs are a lie. And maybe if more young people see a positive image of young people doing what's right in life, this world wouldn't be so crazy with all these people. Like half the people I grew up with now has children, or I'm in my early 20s, okay? They have children, not just one child, but children. And it's because of all these shows, I believe. Because even though people don't watch something and they say, oh, I'm going to be exactly like that, but what you put into your spirit, eventually it will come out. It's kind of like what you eat. You are what you eat. Like whatever your food, whatever food you eat, it will come out on you have pimples of it. You have this. You're not setting out to eat a food to get a disease or to get any, high blood pressure, but the food you get, eventually it comes out. And it's the same thing. Whatever you hear in your mind, it feeds into your spirit. So certain shows I stay away from. But Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I'm a fan of Love and Hip Hop, the original one in New York, because obviously I'm from New York. I can relate to those rappers. I know who they are. So I've seen Jim Jones in person. So I watched that show, and the first season wasn't as crazy as the second season of that show. So that's what pulled me into that show. So I said, let me give Love and Hip Hop a chance. So I have to admit, I kind of like the juicy drama. But one thing I don't like about that show is the aspect of that whole, obviously, what everybody's saying about Jocelyn and Stevie J and Mimi. Like, honestly, parts of that I feel like it's scripted, and I don't like it. But it just gets on my nerves. Like, that whole Stevie J, like, he has no shame on showing in the cameras that he's cheating on his girl. And that's another thing. Like, Mimi, honestly, I know it's a long stretch. I don't think she'll watch this. She's gonna watch this video. But if I could speak to Mimi, I would tell her that, first of all, he's not your husband. Yes, he's the father of your children, but you have a great opportunity to leave that man and find somebody who knows who you are. You have to know your worth. You cannot just because somebody makes money and put you a little bit in his business plans and business deals does not mean anything. If you're getting degraded, if the world can see that you're getting degraded, you are worth more. And I feel like that's a lot of times. MadameNoir.com brought up a thing about ride or die chicks, Mimi being a ride or die. That, first of all, that's not ride or die. That's abuse, emotional abuse. And if you could stand there and let a man treat you like that, then you're just as in the wrong as him, because you have the courage to get up and leave. And another thing I said, if Stevie J bought her a house and all this, honestly, if I have a child that's several years old, not 2, 3, but like old, okay, and I've been with the man for years, I'm talking about over a decade, I better have a ring on my finger, because nowadays a lot of people are having children out of wedlock. And somebody might be watching this that might have had a child out of wedlock, so I'm not trying to put anybody down. But men nowadays, a lot of men have commitment issues, but they still want a legacy to be carried on. So a way for them to still have a legacy to get carried, so it can get carried on, is getting a woman pregnant without marrying them. So now they don't have to commit to this woman. Now they have a seed out there, and they have their legacy, and they're not gonna put a ring You know, if a man can't commit to the one woman, he's not gonna commit to you. It's something that he needs to work out on his own. And I feel like Stevie J needs to work out something on his own. And so that's my thought on Love and Hip Hop. I just had to bring that out. Those are the two shows I wanted to talk to you guys about. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I just went on a rant and a ramble. Until next time, guys. Bye.